Namaste. My warm greetings to my respected fellow panelists, my dear brothers and sisters participating from India and all over the world, organizers of this virtual conference, and dear participants. I'm honored to be a part of this webinar with such respectable personalities like uh, Acharya Goswamiji and other academicians, and of course, my uh, parliamentarian colleagues, my senior parliamentarians who have always been supportive. So it's an honor for me to join and participate here in this webinar. And the title, Peace to Nonviolence itself, says it all. One is incomplete without the other. That's how I feel, because one cannot be achieved without the other. You cannot have violent peace, nor you can ever have peaceful violence. So this peace and non-violence, they are complementary to each other. They supplement each other and they exist together. That is how I feel. So they are inevitable to each other. Today, 21st day of September, is United Nations International Day of Peace. And on 2nd day of October, we celebrate United Nations International Day of Non-Violence to commemorate birth anniversary of Mahatma Gandhi ji. So I'd like to congratulate UPF India for coming up with such a beautiful idea to have a series of webinar starting from today till 2nd of October. So this will create a platform to come up with the discussions on peace and non-violence, which is at this point of time, I feel that one of the most needed discussions that should be on this kind of platform and all over the world. The world at this time of pandemic needs compassion and empathy more than ever before. The divide, the inequality in income distribution among different walks of life is inherent to human civilization. This has always existed. As long as human civilization started, now this inequality in distribution of income, inequality in justice, all these things have existed. We might never have a utopian world of perfection in terms of economy and injustice or justice. However, we must not forget that compassion and empathy is also inherent to human beings. We sometimes tend to forget how beautiful our heart is and concentrate more on how sharp our mind is. I feel at this time of crisis, world needs to experience our good heart rather than the sharp mind. Rich can be more empathetic towards the poor. Strong can be more compassionate towards the weak. And the haves can share with the have-nots. This will help the world to be peaceful. Why does violence occur? Out of greed, dissatisfaction, ambition, hate, violence leads to breach of peace. If we are not able to stop violence, we can never have peace. The Gandhian philosophy has been tested by time. We are free of colonial rule because of our leaders like Mahatma Gandhi ji. He preached non-violence. He practiced non-violence, and he died for his principle of non-violence. His philosophy was tested by time and again and succeeded in all of them. We have such a great examples like in 1960s, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. chose an approach based on Gandhian philosophy and he succeeded. In 1990s, Nelson Mandela chose Gandhian philosophy and approach of reconciliation to rebuild his nation. He not only won against apartheid regime, he successfully built a bond of brotherhood among whites and blacks in the South Africa. The Gandhian philosophy of nonviolence has been acclaimed worldwide. This is one such philosophy which strengthens peace. As the nations compete to have better place and higher position, they long for greater power. Sometimes they tend to resort in violence to consolidate power instead of promoting diplomacy. However, unless the world and its constituents understand the value of oneness, the world will not attain peace. This is what the Universal Peace Federation has been trying to disseminate. It is our primary duty to have our world at peace. Human history has experienced enough chaos, violence, and suppression. With every bit of experience, we have realized that one thing every individual needs is peace And I believe that peace cannot be realized without Gandhian philosophy of non-violence. So these two, the topic itself says it all. That, like I already mentioned, that peace and violence are complementary, supplementary to each other, and they are inevitable with each other. So peace and non-violence is what we actually need at this point of time. However, Gandhiji has said non-violence requires a double faith: faith in God and also faith in man. So it is upon us to create better bonding among individuals, society, and human civilization as a whole, so the world will be at peace. There will be no peace unless there is a sense of solidarity, reconciliation, empathy, and compassion. There will be no peace unless we practice Gandhian philosophy of nonviolence. There will be no peace unless the nations respect each other. There will be no peace unless each one of us understand the value of humanity. So let peace prevail in every being, every society, every nation of the world. So at last, I would like to congratulate the Universal Peace Federation, and I express my gratitude also for giving me a huge responsibility in the organization. I hope I will be able to justify what you have entrusted upon me. I'll try to justify the responsibility that the entire organization has entrusted upon me. And also, I am very happy that I am a part of this webinar series, and I look forward that this webinar series will be one of its kind for the entire world, and will be an example, just like our Mahatma Gandhi ji, whose philosophy is now the stepping stone for all the leaders. All the leaders must follow his philosophy. All the leaders must understand what he tried to preach, what he lived for, and what he died for. So the this is the perfect time that we bring into practice our great soul of this nation, our Mahatma Gandhiji's philosophy. So once again, thank you, Krishna ji. Thank you, Virendra Shrestha. Thank you, entire team of UPF and the organizers. Thank you for having me.